You know,
Welcome to Porch Play Chats, sponsored by the American Association for the Child's Right to Play, or more affectionately titled IPA USA. IPA USA is the USA affiliate of the International Play Association. And as part of our efforts to promote play, we've introduced Porch Play Chats. These are conversations with people who are just as passionate about play as we are. You can find all the Porch Play Chats by going to our website at IPAUSA.org. Up in that top right-hand window is our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to, our Facebook page where you can friend us, our Instagram where you can follow us, and soon to be Spotify. And magically, every Monday morning, a new Porch Play Chat will appear in your feed. And there are over 200 of them, and they're all free to you. My name's Deb Lawrence, and I'm president of IPA USA. And with me on the porch is Dr. Drew. Walter has served as president of the Association for the Study of Play and is the founder and executive director of the Institute for Self-Active Education. For more than 40 years, he's researched, development, curriculum, and conducted hands-on professional play-based experiences with adults and children using open-ended materials. His curriculum serves as a process, and this is what is very powerful because I went to one and it did. It serves as a process that activates people's understanding of the importance of play. He's co-authored From Play to Practice, Connecting Teachers' Play with Children's Learning, which is fabulous, by the way. And he's also the creator of Dr. Drew's Discovery Blocks, which I have in my classroom at my college. He's received numerous awards, and he's also, weren't you a founder of the Play Policy and Practice
yep,
Interest Forum at NAEYC?
yes.
Yeah. So Dr.
Okay,
Drew is
no,
going to talk to us today about some of our leaders of the past. And what I want you to be thinking about is the 3 steps that I find in leadership that I teach is finding your way as a person in your profession, making a difference, and leaving your legacy. So Walter, welcome. We're
hey,
so glad you're here.
thank you, Deb, and anybody else who might be with us today or tomorrow. Thank you, Deb, for inviting me. Happy to be here. Very happy, very pleased. Thank you. So what do we talk about? We're going to talk about what you said, basically, right? Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Good. Making your way. Well, that brings up a number of things when I think about that with regards to my own existence, where I am, what I've been doing, and where I started making my way. Just kind of zoom into a colleague that's passed away recently that I know you know and many others do, Professor Edgar Klugman. And as for making my way, Ed was a dear friend, an inspiration, a mentor, and a colleague that I worked with for over 30 years very closely, because he was the one really who guided me through the realm of early childhood education and professional development and organizational development. So, I would say hands down that Ed is one of those beings that continues to influence my thinking, even though he's in heaven now, wherever he may be. And to give you an example, he and his daughter Carrie, when Carly Bedard and I were doing the online hands-on play experiences, Ed and Carrie would visit us. They would actually, he was probably 90, well, he passed away at 98.8 just recently, February. And I think it was for the last 3 years that Ed and Carrie would come to those virtual play, hands-on play experiences. And I'd like to share with you one thing, and you probably see it on the screen. That's a quote by Ed, and the context was that Ed and Carrie were both at this particular virtual play experience that was focused on playing with paints. So Ed, when we had about 25 minutes and we were all wherever we were in the world and playing with paints, different people, we probably had 25 people, and Ed and Carrie were in their kitchen. And Ed painted a picture. And after the picture, we always do reflection. And we reflected on the experience and wrote and talked about it. And this is Ed's quote. I hope you all can see it okay. And this is what he wrote.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, that would be great, Deb. Thank you.
It's amazing to realize we are gifting ourselves to each other in this session, and we bring our own gifts to the table. The energy transfer that occurs with what we're doing and what we are saying to each other, because the energy, your energy, gets woven into my energy. And you know what is so fascinating about that statement from Ed Walter is that in one of the Porch Play Chats we did with Ed, he talked about this energy and where this energy comes from. And those of you who have not seen Dr. Klugman's Porch Play Chat, he did 2 of them with us a couple of years ago. And I think the thing that was so fascinating about his life, because truly he gives you his life story, and it's an amazing life story. But then he goes to this energy concept that was truly enlightening. So thank you for sharing that quote.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what's interesting about that, it connects with the work that I've wound up doing around self-active play. And the self in self-active play is at least the higher consciousness that we all have occasional access to in our lives. Said another way, it's what Froebel talked about, that the child is divine, that there's an essential spirit within the little child, and it never leaves. So the energy that Ed is talking about is, if you will, awakened or activated in play. And so during that session, if you can imagine, the quote that Ed reflected on and shares arose out of his play with the paints. And the image that he created was all of these kind of marks of people that come together, and like we're in a sense now sharing our essence, our who we are, the best of we can summon and be present together like this. It's that energy of optimism and hopefulness and the spirit of contributing and being of some meaningful purpose in life. And so it is with children, they discover in their play, as adults do, they have this power within them, and they feel and express it. And that's an important understanding for all of us to have, that we have so much more potential than we can access, but the play itself gives us access to that power and the ability to express it.
Well, and I think what is so profound about Ed's comment in relationship to the play experiences that you're doing with Carly, and if you have not signed up for one of those, you need to. Walter and Carly would come and do them for a leadership course in a graduate program. And it is amazing that you can have a shared experience with everyone, working with whatever materials they have. But the outcome of each of those shared experiences is completely different and based on that person, which is what we should honor with children when they're playing, right? It doesn't all have to look the same. They don't all have to use the same materials in the same way. Yeah. It is that energy and that shared experience that creates community. Whether you've ever met the people face to face or not in the online environment. but where you see the individualness of each person and how they use those materials, whether they're paint or loose parts that they found in their pantry and brought, or something that they got off their child's shelf. It is their essence, right? Being where you can see it, it's visualized. And then they tell the stories. That is I think, also so meaningful, is when they share and talk about what they did and the memories it brought up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Wonderful. So just thinking ahead, I have a couple of slides I wouldn't mind showing you.
Oh, please.
But I don't know who this is. I'm just gonna have to discard it. Sorry about that. Whoever you may be. Tom Hendricks. I'd like to just kind of dwell on Thomas Hendricks. He's, in my view, the most extraordinary living play theorist. He is in the category of certainly Stuart Brown and Brian Sutton Smith and others that you all know, but it's Tom Hendricks who frequently came to TASP and made presentations, and we just became good friends. And I love his writing. In particular, I'd like to call your attention to his book called Play, one of his books, Play in the Human Condition.
Yes.
And I'd like to just read you a little quote by Tom that we use in our self-active playbook, and Marcia Nell and I wrote both of those. But Tom says this, which relates to what both you said, Deb, and I said. And this is Tom's quote, and it's from his book on page 82. He says, he's talking about play with objects or loose parts play, and he makes this statement that our play is not merely interaction with the external objects. It's not merely with the objects. It is the interaction with our own deeply cherished visions. Visions. In brief, our play with objects is inevitably self-play. So Tom is talking about the essence of who we are, our cherished beliefs, our visions, all of who internally we view who we are as. And so in the discoveries that children and adults make during object play, they're discovering more than the properties of objects or how to use them for STEM or teach literacy or art experiences. They're learning essential insights about their very essence.
Yes.
In a sense, what is happening is that there is an awakening to the abstraction, which is real. You realize these potential possibilities, and in a sense, you realize in your play, and now that they're in your consciousness, that can happen, that can be, that you can do those things and become the vision of who you are. So just briefly, that I wanted to put that there, that Tom is an extraordinary author and theorist, and I encourage you to get his book and think more deeply about play. And
I think the beauty of loose parts, and those of you who may not know what loose parts are, they're really a collection of things that really don't, in an adult's eyes, don't seem to serve any purpose, right? So it could be a collection of plastic cups. When my grandchildren were younger, the Solo cups, the bright red Solo cups that you can buy in the grocery store. One of their favorite things to play with in the area that we had set up for them to be able to play when they came to visit, one of their favorite things was Solo cups. It doesn't cost a lot of money to give children Solo cups, and they would say, the cups were on the shelf. They say, we need more cups. And I go find more cups and bring them. And they made these amazing 3-dimensional things that they would then tell me big stories about. So loose parts are rocks. They're anything that, you know, in my classroom and in Walter's play experiences, you know, it's what companies throw away as garbage that goes into the landfills. It is an amazing find. And if you go to Google Images and just put in loose parts for children, oh my goodness, the whole world explodes. Straws are a loose part. Popsicle sticks are a loose part, but there's so many others that are truly amazing. And because it doesn't serve a purpose that's already in their head, you know, like Legos. Oh, I have Legos. I build them to, there's nothing wrong with Legos. I build them together, but that's something that's familiar to them that they're able to use, right, as a manipulative. But loose parts they may not have ever touched or experienced. And so it gets that creativity that we're looking for, that initiative to try something new, that problem solving of why can't I get it to balance? It's truly amazing. Loose parts are the way your classroom should be supplied. Don't spend all that money. Just use loose parts because it's magical. Loose parts in children's books. All you need in your classroom.
Yeah, definitely.
And on your playground. Do you want to get rid of that screen, Walter?
Well, I was thinking about if I could, but I can't go forward on this projector to show you some other slides. I'm not.
Oh yeah, there's some. There's one enhancing the mind we just saw.
Yeah,
Einstein.
well, there's more. There's more beyond that. Well, the reason I wanted to show that picture of Einstein and a note about the play chapter here in Florida. Within the NAEYC affiliate, we're establishing play chapters, so there's a greater emphasis on the importance of play in human development and the development of children. So for anybody who's associated with an affiliate anywhere in the world, think about the opportunity of establishing within the infrastructure of a NAEYC affiliate a play chapter. The model's been established now in Florida. It's also in Iowa, and Carly's working on establishing a play chapter in both California and Colorado within the NAEYC infrastructure. But back to Einstein, you recognize that picture. Guess what he said? This was in 1922 at Princeton University, and it just hits me that it's so true. A quote specifically, Einstein said that the supreme act of the teacher is to awaken joy in creative expression. If you think about that later on, the supreme act of a teacher is to awaken joy within the human being.
Yes.
And the play is a medium that surely works with kids. And if you give it half a chance all through our lifetimes as adults, it does the same darn thing.
It does.
It reduces stress. It promotes creative purpose. It allows you to realize that you can keep going. And Ed did that. Ed Klugman was a great being in helping us continue.
He was really the model, right? He would come to the play sessions. We were in St. Louis one of the times that Ed came, and he used his cane to move the loose parts, and he was playing and happy to be there and joyful and present and authentic. And so if we can, as teachers, caregivers, whatever you call yourself, facilitators, if you can think about seeing child initiated play, not teacher, here are your choices, not we're going to rotate every 15 minutes, none of that, but just every child has joy we hope, within them, that they'll show you what where they are developmentally if you just let them play, right? You don't need to test them, do all this other stuff. You just watch them. And Vygotsky tells us when we watch them play, they're actually playing above where they currently are in their development, because you go, and that's why these play experiences that Walter did at NAEYC, and if, like a 3-hour session, that was my first experience in the early 90s, I think, at NAEYC, and it was life-changing. I tell people that all the time. And so if you give yourself the freedom and allow children to have freedom, they're going to show you everything they need to show you through their play. I mean, when I was teaching, I would just go sit quietly where I wouldn't be interrupting and do language samples. It was beautiful. The things that the vocabulary they were using, the conversations they were having, it was beautiful. And, it was authentic, right? Because it was happening as they played, wherever they wanted to play with, whoever they wanted to play with, for as long as they wanted to. And, it was as a teacher, joyful, because I could watch their development unfold in front of me. And so I think some of us, due to all the crazy pressure that everyone is under, have lost the joy of the work. And if you go back to letting children play, that joy will reemerge. And so that's the other thing I want to talk to you about. So, Walter, what else should we leave them with?
Let's see. I wouldn't mind trying to share this screen again.
Okay, you're welcome to. You're still co-host.
Let's see if he gets that. And I click on that. And then I push the button share.
There you go. Okay, I see it. You just need to pull up the PowerPoint screen a bit, because it's
there it is.
There you go.
Almost there. Yeah.
There you go. You're close.
Then I get this.
Oh, look at those precious ones.
Yeah. Okay, so here's something to consider. I don't know if we can see the thing above that. Oh, yeah, we can. Isn't that wonderful? Good. Oh, good. Speaking of materials, can you see that array of materials there, like Deb was talking about a while ago? Those are throwaways from businesses. And this next slide is about working with the Kiwanis Club in your community and establishing a Let's Play workshop in the public library. Think about it. You've got a free space. You've got a group of Kiwanians. You got Key Club. You got CKI. And you got those Kiwanis clubs. And guess what their priority is? Young children priority 1. Work with those Kiwanis clubs to put little Saturday afternoon play activities for the whole community in public libraries. Here's a couple of photos from one of the experiences.
Look at those beautiful interaction with that. A teacher or daddy?
That's a father. That's a father who brought 3 children, and he was just so glad to have a place where he could bring his kids on Saturday afternoon and play with unusual materials and other children. This is what he said. I don't know if you can read that.
Here, I can. Is that Adam Demirez?
Yes.
Place in state of mind. All that is needed is the freedom to have fun and the willingness to imagine. Kids and adults can have fun with any objects. No toys are required. It is natural to want to build, stack, draw, and destroy. Play can unite all ages together, and it has no limits on one's age or physical ability. My 11, 4, and 2-year-old were still able to engage in play and have fun exploring the materials in the surrounds. Thanks for adding some fun to our afternoon. What a lovely parent comment. And what a lesson for him to see how you don't have to go spend hundreds of dollars. You just get some collection of stuff.
And it's such a wonderful way of reaching the parents. Parents are key And we, if you don't mind me saying, I think this work of playing and setting up play experiences for parents is vital. It's essential. It's like the old model for Head Start. It was the whole family.
The whole family.
The comprehensive work with children. It's not only about the children, it's about the whole family. And it's a mental health issue. You know, our parents are under all kinds of stress. Our society, our whole world is under all sorts of siege. And play is a medium for abating, for easing some of that distress and disorder that we may feel. And so it is with children. So play is a place for them to regain a sense of harmony and order within themselves. Yeah. Go on and on, Deb.
Yes, and I want you to think if you're whoever you are as an adult. One of the Porch Play Chats we had yesterday that will be aired probably after the first of the year was really talking about self-care and what brings you joy. And so if we're going to, you know, with the rates of anxiety and the rates of depression and the amount of people on pharmaceuticals because of that anxiety or depression or addiction or whatever it is, you know, sometimes you need to give yourself permission and not feel guilty because you haven't done your to-do list. Give yourself permission to have some joy, because I think that will heal you and heal others around you. But especially children need to have joy. That's what childhood should be about. It shouldn't be about learning their letters.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be about learning their numbers. It shouldn't be about writing their name. It's going to come if you let them play. It'll come naturally for that child. It's a developmental sequence, but they have to play to get it. Otherwise, you make play laborious instead of joyful. So we really have to think about, what are we doing in our classrooms? Our children, what are their dispositions? Are they excited, curious, exploring, discovering, taking initiative? Or are they frustrated, unhappy, bored? What do you want? Because lots of times I'm seeing the boredom and the frustration and the anger, not the joy and the curiosity and the exploration. So it's like we think we're getting them ready, but what ready means is not what we think. So we really need to be rethinking this.
Good. Wonderful. Yeah.
So Walter, I love this idea of the Kiwanis, since they have money and they give it to, yeah. So your Kiwanis folks could help you fund these play experiences. And if the libraries are open to it, what a wonderful place for families to be able to come to a community area that they feel safe and comfortable in, and to be able to relax and just be with their children. What a gift that is.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Walter, will you have somebody send me this Let's Play flyer, and then I'll attach it so that people can sort of see what it looks like and everything. I think that would be really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a foundation, a Kiwanis Foundation in virtually all states, everybody. And as Deb said, it is a source of funding. Also, it's a community partner that looks to help children, young children. Priority one is their call to their mission. And yeah, great.
I think that is crucial, that we have a way to help parents see the value of play, because now I think, you know, in this whole crazy readiness area that we seem to be in and we can't seem to escape, I think parents are so fearful that their children aren't going to be ready for the inappropriate classrooms that they're going to go into, that they try to overschedule their children, or they try to just focus on the cognitive skills, those academic skills. And what we're seeing in classrooms is that children are missing all the other domains of development because we have just focused on one. You know, development is interrelated and interdependent. If you put an infant in a playpen and they can't explore their environment, then they're going to be behind in their physical development and their cognitive development and their social development and their emotional development and their language development. So I think we have just focused on one domain of development. Not us, but the world seems to be focused on one domain of development and doesn't recognize that it's a system, and that the system is dependent on the other domains of development. So, you know, if kids don't go out for recess in public schools and they don't have breaks on a regular basis, then that their cognitive brain gets really, really tired. But the physical, when they can do physical activity, it resets. And so, you know, taking away recess is not the answer. Keeping children off the playground because it's uncomfortable for you to be out there is not the answer. So we really have to reset. I think that's the word I've been using, Walter. I've been saying we have to reset because it's what we're doing isn't working, which is evident by the number of children who have anxiety and depression and eating disorders and all of those mental health issues that we're running into. So, Walter, this has been wonderful. Thank you for sharing these amazing quotes and stories and showing us these amazing pictures. And I'm also going to put Tom Hendrick's book in the YouTube description of this Porch Play Chat. Good. Is there any final comments you want to make before we close out?
Well, there's that nitty-gritty dirt band line. It's a song, really. And to anybody who's, you know, who happens to view this experience, the little thing is, the closing comment is that may the long time sun shine upon you.
Yes.
All love surround you, Deb and everybody else. And the pure light within you guide you on your way. Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah.
And play can help you do that. It's amazing. You know, I as an adult, I play all the time, right? I play by watching my birds in the bird feeder. Oh my God, I have so much joy from that. My husband and I play board games all the time. And we laugh, and you just sort of go to a different place, which is what I also experienced in Walter's sessions at NAEYC and when they did the online play experiences. And so your brain needs a break, your body needs a break. You need to sometimes escape, and play does that for you. You go to a different place. And so we need to not see play as something that is optional or something that is, sometimes I hear adults say, oh, it's just frivolous stuff. They don't have any purpose in it. And I'm like, ooh, can I talk to you about child development for 10 minutes? Really, I need 10 minutes to talk to you about this, because we're not honoring development, and we're allowing those external pressures to sometimes make us do things that we really already know aren't the right way to do it. So so you're battling with yourself when you're somebody above you says, well, you're not doing enough academics, and you're like, but that's not where they are, right? So you're battling with yourself, which is increasing your anxiety and your depression, and you're feeling loss of joy. You got to sometimes just say, just watch what I'm doing. And let's talk about the importance of play. So the other thing I'm going to say before we close, Walter, is the white paper. So IPA USA is 50 years old this year. And we did a white paper, which is a collection of articles by people all over the United States and actually in several other countries about play. And so there are different categories, it's a child's right, readiness isn't what you think, the healing power of play, play across the lifespan. So there are all these categories. And we've got about 63 articles that have been written within those categories. And those will be available free to you on our website after the September 2024 conference. And so it is a collection that you can use because it's your advocacy tool to make changes in your program. So just know that that's coming in October.
Good. And speaking of healing, Deb, I wanted to show you something.
Okay.
I could. Yeah,
absolutely.
I have my difficult moments, and I occasionally get to play on the piano. I'm not a piano player, but I play on the piano. And recently, well, actually, for a long time, I've been painting. And I want to show you a painting that helps me heal. And this is one I'm working on right now.
My goodness.
This is a painting. I don't know if you can see that.
I can. I can see. I can see the. Yes, go ahead.
Come a little closer.
No, I see it now. There you go. Yeah. Oh my.
It's a large painting, but anyway, there you go. It's just, and when I can get to that place of playing with the paints, it makes me feel whole again and less stress. Yes. Anyway, there you go.
That is going to be amazing.
Oh,
Will
yeah.
you see a picture when you're done?
I'd be happy to. Absolutely. And I'll also send you that Let's Play flyer for the Kiwanis.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Deb, very much for allowing me to play with you today. I enjoyed that.
Oh, Walter, I always love our time together. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to close this out and I'll be right back.
Good. Okay.
To learn more about IPA USA, please visit our website at ipausa.org. And until next time, keep on playing.
Jesse entered.